Well, welcome everybody. This is 9:30 and this is a scheduled time to begin the BGIN block. My name is Claudio. I am professor of blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, and this is for me a pleasure to welcome you to this hybrid BGIN conference that we are going to host here at the University of Zurich. You know that in spite of the hot summer, Switzerland is one of the most active areas in which blockchain is taking place worldwide. And this is a mixture of different reasons. On the one hand, is because of the progressive regulation, but also the fact that this thing kicked in a large ecosystem that has been growing. And the University of Zurich, that I am representing here, is the largest academic initiative in Switzerland in this space. The University of Zurich that will host us for these 3 days is the largest in Switzerland, and largest means in terms of the number of students that are taking their education, their higher education here with us. But also in terms of the number of possible career paths that the students can follow. We have 7 faculties that range from the oldest one, that is the one of theology, to the others, like the one that hosts the blockchain center, that is the Faculty of Business, Economics, and Informatics. And this also, we have the largest faculty of law. If I sound right, don't correct me if I am wrong. In Switzerland, and this wide range of competencies is also reflected in the approach that we take to blockchain here at the University of Zurich, because what we stand is that you cannot understand blockchains just as a mere technological construct or as a set of speculative assets. On top of that, which are the regulatory issues that involve blockchain-based solutions, platforms, new systems, is something that is specifically important when considering these systems, and this is also what we look into the blockchain center. And you see here that in this diagram, you have the blockchain center and 3 disconnected pillars. Actually, this is not what we do here. To us, a truly interdisciplinary approach that builds on collaboration between these different areas is fundamentally important. That's why we look at blockchain-based systems from a systemic point of view, and uniquely to the approaches that we do is also we resort on very large-scale data analysis of the information that is contained either in the ledgers or in other places that are connected to them. The Blockchain Center of the University of Zurich was unofficially kickstarted its activities in 2017, together with the ICO craze that swamped the world. But we were an informal center. We were different professors, mainly from 2 faculties that were interested in this topic. Some professors from finance, some professors from law, a few of us as well from with technical expertise. And eventually, in 2019, we turned into a competence center at the University of Zurich. That means that we are a legal institute, a legal person, a legal entity inside of the university. And we now host 21 members, faculty members, which is 21 professors, and around 30 more members that are not faculty from our university. And these members come from 4 different faculties: law, economics, business and informatics, the Faculty of Science, and the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. And the objective of the Blockchain Center of the University of Zurich is to be an unbiased body, even if we have key collaborations with industry partners, which aims at creating and also disseminating critical understanding of the space. I think that the most important thing that is happening to blockchains is that, and all the things that surround them, is that we do not understand them enough. And this is what has created, on the one hand, false perception, but also some room to deception in a specific context. And we have 4 main objectives. The first one is to foster and coordinate interdisciplinary research in the area of blockchain and distributed ledger technologies with its application and implications. Just to summarize, a few things that we specifically do in my group is, on the one hand, we wanted to create these blockchain-based systems to create the system that should be decentralized, systems that should be anonymous, and systems that should have, in many cases, open monetary systems in which everybody could participate of the supply. And importantly, you could be able to participate in these systems, in these permissionless blockchains, even if you do not have trust on the other members of the system, on the other system participants. And the question that we ask in a nutshell is, which are the difference between this narrative and what we see in reality? And going to the core is, which is the relationship between design choices that are placed in these technical systems and the outcomes that we obtain. Because in general, you have a lot of economic incentives, you have a lot of mechanisms in place in these platforms that completely dictate the global outcomes that we see at the end. Just a few things. One thing that we have been investigating a lot is the ever-increasing concentration of power in the entities that are able to participate in introducing data inside of the ledgers. We have been looking into economic functioning of these systems, and we have even developed new metrics that allow us to understand who are the contributors to the economic functioning of the systems. This is in the area of what we would call cryptoeconomics. I am very interested in consensus mechanisms, and actually how also incentives placed at the consensus level eventually lead to higher levels of concentration. But also, one thing that is fascinating to me, and I hope that to all the members in my group, is the how sensitive these systems are to strategic behavior of some agency in the system, and how even if the system should be open and you have a lot of ways of analyzing it in order to checking for the fairness of the system, you see a lot of anomalies, that could be explained, for example, because individuals are doing strategic behavior when they participate in consensus protocols. You see, for example, that abnormally high number of consecutive blocks mined by the same individuals in a lot of platforms, except for Bitcoin. And the other thing that is very interesting to us is doing blockchain forensics in a way. Blockchain analytics is identifying the different addresses that belong to the same users, and specifically, given that the background of many of our team members is in network science, use tools of network science to improve the heuristics that allow you to identify which elements, which addresses belong to the same users in the systems to better characterize the economic flows I was describing before. And we are also interested in designing incentives in blockchain-based systems, designing governance, and this is part of, for example, this thing of no one's one, which is designing incentives and governance in a physical space that no one's own, but it is owned by itself, by a DAO, is part of the research that we are developing in collaboration with the Centrum and ETH Zurich. I was talking about research. I was giving some, I was swiping through some of the things that we are doing in terms of research. But the second objective of the Blockchain Center is to create a complete educational offering that ranges from our students at the undergraduate level to industry leaders. And this range encompasses everybody, encompasses also undergraduate students from foreign universities, and also encompasses postgraduate students at the PhD level. And this is why we create continuously a very large range of courses. But specifically, one module that I am particularly proud of is the International Summer School Deep Dive into Blockchain, that reflects as well this interdisciplinary nature of the Blockchain Center and introduces students from all around the world to the economics, to the technology, and regulatory issues of blockchain-based systems. I'm really happy that people here has participated and supported this. Each year we have always more than 40 lectures. And we have a very interesting contribution from industry that gives the students this possibility to critically analyze blockchain-based systems. And so far, we had students from 50 different countries and roughly 230 alumni in the 3 years that the summer school has been running so far. We have a lot of events that, because of the pandemic, we turned into hybrid. I just refer to, for example, the lecture series. Actually, the second lecture that we ever hosted in 2019 was given by Shinichiro Matsuo, that is present here today. And we have this series of events with other partners. This is the second objective. The third one is to act as a single point of contact and engage with industry. And that's why I'm so happy that we have engaged industry in our educational programs, but also we are performing research in collaboration with them, with many of them. And we also have a very strong international network that this kind of events is going to just strengthen. But also importantly, as I was talking about Switzerland, and the fourth aim that we have as Blockchain Center is to project the University of Zurich and Switzerland internationally. And this is why we have been participating in a plethora of events in Switzerland and abroad. And we will do this in the future. And one thing that I am happy with is that this has been also been done in collaboration with the cantonal and federal governments that are very keen of this area, of bringing even more activities more attention into this area. And this is where we start the conference today. That is why you came here, not to listen to me. So when the people from the BGIN network approached me to host the first on-site event of the BGIN network, I thought that it was a very good opportunity to link to a community that has a very interesting approach, because understanding how we can create a sustainable ecosystem in the area of blockchain is, I think, an objective that we all have, and that they have been networking in people across the continents and stakeholders from different areas. This is also their own objective. So I think that from that point of view, it is the kind of event that we always want to have at the University of Zurich. So I'm really happy that we are hosting this event, and this thankfulness goes to the co-chairs of the program, and sorry for the misspelled, of the program and of the BGIN network, Shinichiro Matsuo, Ali Nejadamalieri, Robert Schwenkler, and Leon Molchavlovsky, who are visiting during these days Switzerland. This event would not be possible without Florian and Shegnan, that are doing all the operational work also during the summer school. I am thankful very much to them. And before I give the word to Shinichiro, I would like to say you a few practical pieces of information related to the conference these days. We will have this conference. This is a program for today. We will go through it later, but there are two logistic issues that are important for you. The first one is here, that the coffee breaks, the apero today in the afternoon and the social dinner tomorrow is going to be in the Lichthof, which is the atrium, so downstairs where the reception desk was. Okay, this is where these events are going to take place. Remember, coffee breaks are going to be there. For the lunch, it's going to be in the UZH Mensa, the main one, that is 350 meters away from here. The map is very clear. We're in RAA. We need to walk 4 minutes to get there. The building looks like the photo that is to the right. We will walk together with you, people. Just don't get lost. Okay, it is, and importantly, all the vouchers for the Mensa will be distributed in the coffee break downstairs, if I understood you right. So we will figure it out during the coffee break, but please stay attentive, because otherwise you will not get them. Okay, that was all from my side. Thank you very much for everything. Welcome to the conference, and it is for me a pleasure to welcome Shinichiro Matsuo, professor from Georgetown, to give the introduction to BGIN.